Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. So today we'll be talking about Under Armour. Under Armour has been on the news of the past 2 or 3 days. They've been doing really, really well. And I think there's some value in that stock, okay? They've been on a trajectory of going down, down, down. But ever since COVID-19, again, another company that continued to make money for themselves, boost their revenue, increase their percentages. I mean, they continue to make money. Now, we need to understand this right here before we start off, that Under Armour, the history of their splitting their stock, okay, the history of them splitting their stock goes back to 2012. They did a 2-for-1 split. Then back in 2014, they did a 2-for-1 split again. In 2016, another 2-for-1 split. And in 2016, a whatever split that is. We're looking at this number right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're over here to the right of the screen here. Oh, let me let you show that. My apologies. So we're over here. And then 2016, 4 years ago, they did a 1-for-1 split. Okay, 1-for-1 split. But they continue to split their stock. So investors continue to have opportunities to invest inside their stock. So anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to do the stock review. Give me 1 second, guys. I may be having technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure this is good. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm making sure that I'm good, okay? You're there. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm making sure that I'm good, okay? You're there. All right, I think we're good now. Sorry about that, guys. Had some technical difficulties. You know how it is. But anyway, I see that the internet is slow today, nonetheless. But we're back on track right now. We're back on track. Just checking a couple of things out. All right. Now, Under Armour. Now, we need to understand that Under Armour has two stocks. Okay? You have your UAA and you have your UA. Now, the difference in these particular two stocks, the one we're looking at right now is UAA. The UAA stock, these are the ticker, these are the symbols for the stock. It's very important that you know the difference. Okay, so you have this is the UA, and this is the stock price. Then you have the UAA ticker, and that is the stock price. Now, the UAA stock, you actually have voting rights for every stock that you have in Under Armour. You know, when you have a certain amount of stock, you can go and vote, okay, and how you want the company to go. Whereas though, if you invest inside the UA stock, you have no voting rights. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the most profitable one. Okay, which is the UAA. It's a little more expensive as far as buying each share, but nonetheless, when we look at the financials here, you're going to see that it's going to be a little bit better. Okay, so over the past 5 years, now it doesn't matter because it's still one company, but they have two ways that you can actually buy shares. Okay, it's kind of like Google. GOOG and then GOOGL. This is UAA and then UA. So you got to know the difference depending on where you want to come in at, if you want voting rights or not. But over the past 5 years, they've been down 68%. Okay, the past year, 30%. Past 3 months, they've been up 36%. Past month, they've been up 28%. Past week, they've been roughly up 0.7%. And then today, they're up 6.4%. Now, I go over here. This is the UA share. They've been up down 69% the past year. They've been down 31% the past 3 months. They've been down 31%. Past month, they've been down 27%. They've been up 27%, excuse me. And the past week, they've been up 1%. And then today, they're up 6.4%. So both stocks are doing really, really good right now. So if you don't care, like I'm not going to be voting on no stock, then you might want to come in at this price point. But before you go invest, please wait to the end of this because I'm going to show you some more financials that historically the UAA stock has been doing a lot better than the UA stock, okay? The ones with the voting rights have been doing better than the one without the voting rights, okay? So I'm going to be doing a lot of compare and contrast, but now with the information is all pretty much the same. So engage in the development, marketing, and distribution of branded performance apparel, footwear, and accessories for men, women, and youth, It operates through the following segments: North America, Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Connected Fitness. The North American segment comprises of US and Canada. The Connected Fitness segment offers digital fitness subscriptions along with digital advertising through its MyFitness, MyFitnessPal, and Enduma. I didn't know that Under Armour was behind MyFitnessPal and MyFitness. I didn't know that. So that's new information for myself. The company was founded by Kevin A. Plank back in 1996. And we know their headquarters in Be More Careful, Baltimore. Be More Careful, Baltimore. That's what I call it. I'm from D.C. I have a right to that. It's only 40 minutes away from where I live, or used to live, rather. Employees, 16,400. Nothing else significant to report here. But let me tell you something about Under Armour really quick, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why Under Armour became very, very popular is because of their material. It's because of their fabrics. Because in terms of fiber use, okay, the fibers that they have in their materials, over 80% of Armour All's materials are polyester based, both virgin and recycled, which by many measures is more sustainable to produce than alternative fibers. So polyester may also reduce GHG emissions from consumer use. Like, who cares about GHG emissions? They really don't care. But in terms of fiber use, only 80% of Under Armour material are polyester based. Now, every now and again, I get a wild hair and I want to essentially understand materials, right? Like, take for instance this shirt. Now, I looked at it as cotton, but it stretches. But it's all about how much nylon, polyester, cotton, and silk that they put in all these materials operate differently, right? You can get a cotton shirt that because they wove it and twined it and sewed it and compacted a certain way that it feels different, right? I'm just amazed what people have done with materials over the years. I really am. Mainly Black people, just to point that out there. But a lot of questions is, what is Under Armour is actually made of? You got cotton, synthetic hybrid makes up Under Armour new charred cotton fabric. Now, most of their fabrics, believe it or not, is cotton. Yeah, cotton polyester, pretty much. They probably have a little bit of nylon, a little bit of spandex, but it's mostly cotton. And they really make, in my opinion, they make really good materials. They make good clothing, okay? Expensive, but nonetheless, they make good materials, in my opinion, okay? So let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So here's the headline news for you guys. Under Armour shares jumped after its footwear sales helped drive earnings beat. People are buying Under Armour footwear. I mean, I've never bought a pair of Under Armour shoes. Okay, I never really saw them as I know they're a clothing company and they deal in shoes, but I never really saw them as a shoe company. For me, I used to run in Asics back in the day. What else do I like? I like Adidas. I like Nikes, I guess. I have so many different pairs of shoes, guys. I don't know. I probably got more Nikes, I guess. But I may give Under Armour, when I go to the gym, or working out upstairs, I may buy a pair of Under Armour shoes to see how they perform, okay? Because supposedly they're really good shoes. Under Armour forecasts full year revenue about estimates. Under Armour reports third quarter 2020 results. So that's a bunch of the information that you guys may find relevant to your stock investments. Buy 12%, hold 76%, and sell 12%. On this one, usually when I see a hold or a buy at a high percentage, I usually read the bulls. But because of their history, 68, 69% over the past 5 years, I really want to know what the bulls saying that why they may not do well. Okay, we understand the bulls and the bears. Bulls always give you information of why they believe the stock is going to do well. The bears always give you information of why they believe the stock is going to do bad, okay? We expect much of Under Armour growth to come from international markets where the brand is little known. It may struggle to compete in China. You know why anything may struggle to compete in China? Because China are the biggest copycats in the world. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because I always give you guys the imagery of, if you want to model success, then find someone who's successful and model your platform, your methods after them so you can be successful. You don't go talk to unsuccessful people, right? You're like, I'm gonna go get advice from this homeless guy. No, you're gonna find somebody who's successful, that's in your field, and you say, hey, what did you do to become successful? Can you teach me what you've done? So hence China, they copycat what the US and other countries do, and they do it cheaper with cheaper labor and sometimes cheaper materials. So that's why I believe that this brand will do not do well in China, because matter of fact, Under Armour may outsource some of their clothes making in China. All right. The world's, it says, it may struggle to compete in China, the world's second largest activewear market. The COVID-19 pandemic put Under Armour's turnaround on hold as it forces the temporary closure of stores and the shutdown of sports. This is crazy because sports have shut down, some of their stores has closed, but their stock went up. That means investors are motivated to buy. Under Armour is exposed to struggling physical retail right here, okay? In the U.S. wholesale business, many stores may close, including some that carry Under Armour. Closing may hurt sales and lead to widespread discounting as after Sports Authority bankruptcy. So if you guys are investing in Sports Authority, Now, I want to read this because now this is interesting after reading the Bears. I actually want to read the Bulls. Under Armour quickly became Kohl's second biggest brand after its introduction in 2017. This partnership allows Under Armour to reach more female customers. Kohl's is expanding shelf space for active wear. Under Armour restructuring is expected to produce an average annual savings of $200 million over the next 4 years. If realized, the firm can reinvest these savings into marketing and international expansion. Under Armour's footwear has lagged its apparel, but has gained momentum over the past decade. The firm's sponsorship of Curry has made it contender in basketball shoes, okay? Now, earnings. We're only getting Q2 to Q3 earnings, and look at the difference here, ladies and gentlemen. They bolstered their stock really, really well, okay? People also own the other Under Armour stock, GE, Ford Motors, and Nike. Let's move on for their past performance. As we can tell right here, give me a second. Pop-ups all over the place. Now, the past year to date and past year, they have not been doing so well. They've been down more than 30%, but the past 3 months and the past month, they've been up 34 to 20%. So they're doing really well. Now, this is a company that's operating out of debt, okay? They may be reinvesting that money inside their company, but nonetheless, their EPS is a negative, meaning they're essentially operating out of debt. But again, we understand that they take their profits, a lot of companies, and reinvest it back into the business, okay? So let's move on with that. Let's go to Yahoo Finance. Now, here's the big difference I want you guys to look at. I'm glad you guys stayed around to hear this information because you're asking yourself, should I invest? Let me scroll back up. You're asking yourself, should I invest in Under Armour UAA or Under Armour UA? Now, a lot of you may be tempted to invest in this particular one because it's at a lower price point, right? Like, oh, I can buy more stocks if I buy the UA stock because this Under Armour stock is under $13, while this Under Armour stock is almost $15. But now this is imperative. This is imperative. We already know the difference between the UAA and the UA. When we look at the difference here, now take for instance, Under Armour was once worth almost $50 a share. Now this is the UAA stock that is now about $14.50. Back in back in August, back in July of 2015, this is worth almost $50. Now we come down to COVID-19. It dropped down to $9.21, and now it's up to $15. Okay, so this stock has had a history of climbing. I don't know what occurred in 2015 of July, which made this company go on a steady decline of profits and revenue. Okay, but nonetheless, it's making a turnaround. Now you can buy it on the dip because they're essentially still on a dip because historically it looks as though they're about to come back up. Because if we look at this, right, you got the mountain, you got the valley, You got a plateau, you got a dip, so it should be coming back up. Because at the tip top of this one is $25. So if you buy that 14.5, chances are you can at least get the $20 and make really, really good money. Now, this is the UAA. Make sure you get the tickers and symbols correctly. This is the UAA. This is the stock that you can essentially vote with. But the UA one, okay, the one that's the lesser amount at 1275, okay, 1285, 1284, this stock has never done well. The past 5 years, okay, look at this right here. From 2015, September, the stock was up, the stock was up $103. $103. People who bought in at that particular price point kept thinking that Under Armour is going to continue to go up. They have lost a lot of money because even before COVID-19, this stock has a steady decline. It's like an airplane. And that's all the blood from all the people who died buying this stock, okay? So my advisement is not to buy the Under Armour stock UA. Buy the one that the ticker is UAA. The financials, I looked at all the backing. The ones that investors are more motivated because they have voting rights with the UAA. So you've seen the difference. Like here you are on the mountaintop. You jumped off with the parachute and the parachute did not open. You're dead. People lost tons of money off this stock, okay? But again, we go back to this one, which is the UAA. Looks like you can make really, really good profits. Now, here's the other one that's UAA. Zach has it as a hold, okay? Zach right here has it as a hold. They got momentum as an A. Now, these are just regular letter grades. So the way you was in grade school, A, B, C, D, F, same thing. Nonetheless, you got the value, growth, and momentum is a B. That's why I'm telling you, this is probably a good stock that you guys can invest in, especially if you wear Under Armour. I have a few Under Armour apparel. I like the material. It's a really good company. Growth is a B, value is a C. But nonetheless, right now, if you catch it on the momentum, there's money to be made. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to point out here. Just a top story here. Under Armour surpasses Q3 earnings and revenue. They did better with better than expected. That's pretty much it. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. I'll just put my link in the chat room in case you guys have any questions. So if you have any questions, I'll be on here probably about 15 seconds. See if you guys have anything that you want to say. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I can answer it right now. If not, I got some more material for you guys probably in the next 30 minutes or so. So if you guys want to just keep your ear to YouTube, your eyes to the food. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that's the time that I have right now. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. You guys have a great and wonderful day. And I'll be back on probably about 30 minutes. Talk to you soon. I'm out.